This is incredible. Gdansk, Poland. Hi there, good afternoon. How's it going? Today is Saturday, February 21st, 2026. Currently 30 degrees Fahrenheit, that is -1 degrees Celsius here in Gdansk, northern Poland on the Baltic Sea. So I arrived here yesterday, coming from Warsaw by train, arrived in the afternoon, and as I showed in my last video, I checked into my room, as you saw at the beginning there. Really nice apartment at a great price, and then hung out for a little bit, and then headed out and filmed a bunch of Gdansk a bit later in the afternoon, around 4:30, and was going to include that in that video that I posted yesterday. But then I realized that the video is getting quite long, and so I decided to include it as part of today's tour of Gdansk, since it fits in perfectly. So we're going to go back in time to yesterday, about 4:30 in the afternoon, as I head out and see much of what is out this way. And then I finish up my day and head back to the room. And then once you have seen that footage, then I'm going to continue the tour starting now, and we will see much more of this absolutely phenomenal, unbelievable city that I had known about, but just barely, not much. This is one of the most beautiful cities in Europe, without a doubt. So here we go, back in time to yesterday. Wow, this is quite a sight, this street with the church and frozen over river, and then some sort of very large looking building, if it's an inn or restaurant or whatever. Oh, and then another, I guess, church here. Okay, we have a Lover's Lock bridge. Mark and Gemma, locked in forever. Cool. Really nice scene here. And then there is a market that I'm going to walk over to that is supposed to be really pretty. So I'm guessing this is a restaurant here. Great location. In the summertime, it would be very, very, very different. Eat outside with the river flowing by, sun shining down. Whoa! What the heck is that? I think it is constellations. I was going to say the zodiac, but it's much more than the zodiac. Obviously, we have a very important historical figure, Jan Hevelush. Haven't heard of him, but he has there an astronomical instrument. And so this is obviously referencing him. So the zodiac, of course, would have 12 of the constellations and their associated animals, but we have much, much, much more than that. Manalis, Serpens, Tropicus, Borealis, Lyra, Draco, Ursa Minor, Camelopardalis, Cepheus, Cassiopeia, Triangulum Majus. Wow, what an amazing image here. All right. So far, Gdansk is looking really, really, really amazing. A museum. And a really spectacular church, or perhaps the cathedral. I will do a more proper tour of the city in another video in the daylight. Look at this, they're still in the Christmas spirit. Red light. It's all red lighting inside there too. And here we are at the Long Market Street. Whoa. You can see it down here. Lots of lights. Oh man. It opens up down here. Nice looking square. Wow. Gdansk is really something else. Absolutely incredible. So Gdansk is near the Baltic Sea, but it's actually a little ways away. So I'm not sure what the scene is like actually over on the sea. Hopefully I'll get over there in the coming days. I have this place for 3 nights. Wow, I am really glad that I decided to make the trip up to Gdansk. Whoa, and then it opens up again, other side of this arched building. Okay, so this isn't a square here. Whoa. Oh my God. Well, we're at the water, not the sea, but holy moly, look at this. A ship out there? Damn, Gdansk is mind-blowing. And more down this way. Holy moly. This is one of the most amazing cities I've been to. Absolutely. And love the style of... Excuse me?
I'm from Ukraine.
Oh.
No, now they need money to buy food.
Just a little bit. Which city in Ukraine are you from?
Yeah, Zaporozhye. Zaporozhye.
Zaporizhzhia, okay. This is eastern part of Ukraine.
And it's war now in Zaporozhye.
Yeah.
very hard.
Yeah, very sorry to hear that. I've been to Kiev and Lviv. Actually, I bought these gloves in Lviv. These gloves.
У нас хватит времени.
Yeah.
But
More safe there, but
we have war in our country, very current big
yeah.
hours. Big
And I know it's coming on 4 years in just a couple days is the 4 years. It's crazy. I hope it comes to a close.
true.
Vladimir Putin is insane. I'm so sad about what's happened. Yep. Take care. So, who knows? Maybe she was a scammer, but I was happy to give her 20 zloty. Whoa, look at these guys. What is the deal with that? Very kind of 80s or whatever. Anyway, 20 zloty there is like $6. And it keeps going and going, but let's just get down to that tower down there and then call that good. Okay, I'm not certain yet if that is a real person. It's not.
Tower of Secrets, Gdansk.
Man, it is a very good likeness of a human being. I'm like waiting for this guy to move.
Enjoy virtual reality and VR cinema to meet dinosaurs or fly into space.
Very realistic. Okay, another of the canals here. And keeps on going. Whoa. Man, I am just blown away by this city. All right. It is definitely time to get inside somewhere and get warmed up. And so welcome back to February 21st, the next day. So here you have some of the things to see in the city. Covered Market, St. Catherine's Church, that is actually where I started the video. Big Mill Amber Museum, Great Armory, Golden Gate, Monument to Defenders of the Polish Post Office. And one thing worth mentioning is that, of course, you're getting a less than ideal view of the city at this time of year. Not just because of the cold, which of course you don't have to feel, but the lighting really is the main thing. This gray overcast definitely doesn't result in the best conditions for filming and exploring, but hopefully you're getting the idea that this is a really truly remarkable city with so much history. Magnus Bruski, so 19th and 20th century, harassed by the authorities and the police for his anti-Nazi views, lived and worked here as the parish priest of St. Nicholas. So of course Poland massively devastated in World War II, and in fact the spot where World War II began is right near here in Gdansk. Hopefully I will make it over there tomorrow because I have another day tomorrow. Wow, that cathedral was absolutely phenomenal. It's like a museum inside there with lots of paintings. There were original looking murals on the walls, very old looking murals, and then on the floor there were all kinds of carvings and writing and stuff, like really old looking. That was a very unique church. And what is this? Huh. Bizarre. It looks kind of like a bird. Two eyes and like a beak there and claws. This sure looks old. And then we have carvings on the side of this building that are really interesting. Octopus, so yeah, they seem to be definitely kind of capturing the history and the culture and stuff of the region, being on the Baltic Sea. So you have a ship, another ship there, and the octopus, and then looks like a warrior with a shield and some kind of a club or a sword or something. And then what is that, a snail? A fish, another ship, maybe another ship, lots of ships, a bird. That's an interesting symbol. Looks like maybe sun and moon. This is Mariachka Street, and this is actually the first place that I had in mind to walk over to visit and kind of start the tour of today, but then we saw a lot along the way. And so I found out about this street by searching online for best things to see in Gdansk. And on that subject, I thought that I would address the issue as I walk through here and show this really cute street here. So I thought that I would talk about doing research for my videos, how much research I do, and respond to some of the comments under my video in Warsaw, in which I came to the Palace of Culture, an absolutely massive, imposing, impressive building built in the 1950s after World War II as a gift from the Soviet Union, but I didn't know what it was. I came across it and was impressed, but then I knew nothing about it. So why didn't I know about one of the most famous, iconic buildings in Warsaw and in Poland? So I will discuss the whole issue of doing research for my videos. Mulled wine, that is tasty stuff. It is much milder in terms of the alcohol content than regular wine. You drink a big glass of that and you don't, feel the same kind of effects. It's like diluted. I don't know what's in it, like juice or something, but it's kind of like diluted wine. But it's really tasty and hot, and so very nice on a cold winter's day. So I am posting videos almost every day, and so that is the first thing to keep in mind. I understand for people who come across my videos kind of randomly who haven't followed the channel, then they might expect more of a informative, historical, in-depth knowledge about the place that I'm visiting. But I have limited time, and I already spend a whole lot of time on my computer editing these videos and then uploading the videos and then filling in the information, creating the thumbnail image, all the stuff that goes along with that, and then managing my channel, reading through hundreds of comments, and then trip planning, booking flights, booking accommodation, all this stuff for the traveling, not even necessarily for the videos. And then I also do research. The way that I do these tours is that I look for places in advance to visit in a city or whatever. And I will read a bit online, check the Wikipedia page, a few different sources, and get some general information. But I'm not doing some sort of comprehensive, reading books and spending hours learning all the history and all that kind of stuff. If I was doing that, I would be posting videos like once a week, not every day. There just isn't enough time in the day. And also, with all the time that I spend online and on the computer as it is, then I don't want to spend a bunch more time staring at a screen, reading stuff, trying to learn all the specific details about a place and all that. I would rather just get out there and see the place, and then you learn stuff along the way. So what happened with my research for Warsaw is I, checked Wikipedia, just got the basic information, and then found a page online listing some of the best things to see in Warsaw. But it didn't mention the Palace of Culture. And so I knew nothing about it. Although I had actually come across it before because I had watched a video by Alina McLeod, another travel vlogger on YouTube, and she had shown it. I think I'd actually watched her video some time ago, like a couple weeks or something ago, when I was considering maybe coming back to Poland to see Warsaw. Anyways, I'd seen her video, and in retrospect, I remembered, oh yeah, she had talked about it because she had mentioned how it was considered to tear it down because it was a remnant of the Soviet communist history, but they kept it up. And so then I remembered, oh yeah, I had come across it then. Amazing archway. And so this is an entrance into the old town out there, and we're now going to, I guess, technically leave the old town and come across one of the canals. And so I knew nothing about the Palace of Culture because it just hadn't come up in the, kind of minimal research that I'd done beforehand. But once I realized, just looking at it, whoa, this is an amazing building, then I could have stopped, got out my phone, looked where I was, looked at the history on my phone, which is what I often do in the course of making these videos. If I come across something that I don't know what it is. So yesterday I finished filming over on that bridge over there, looking back this way, showing this ship. So now we can get a closer view of it. And so I could have done that yesterday and then told you on the spot what it was and when it was built and everything. But basically, at that moment, I was like, well, if I need to do that, I'll do that. But let's see if I can get some information just walking around. And the cold is a factor here. The reason that I have my glove off at the moment is because I wanted to make sure that my camera was still filming, because the batteries die quicker in the cold. And so I need to touch the back of the screen because it goes black to save the battery. But to see if I'm still filming, I need to touch the back of the screen, and then it shows me that I'm still filming if I am. But you can't do that with gloves on, because these touch things don't work with gloves. They need to be touched by a finger because it's like a heat sensing thing. And so that's related, because that's the case with my phone as well. So if I'm going to try to check a fact or whatever on my phone, I got to take my phone out of my pocket and take gloves off and do all that stuff. And so when it comes to the Palace of Culture yesterday, or 2 days ago or whatever, then I just was like, okay, let's hold off, see if I find some information. And sure enough, I did. I saw the 1955 on the building itself, and then came across a plaque later that gave me some more info. So anyways, that's kind of the long story of an aspect of filming these videos that you don't necessarily know about, especially if you haven't done it yourself. So which direction to go from here? So down there is that whole amazing street that I showed already from my exploring yesterday. I guess let's wander this way. Maybe go check out that bigger, more modern ship up ahead. So I have a list of places in mind to visit today, but we've only seen one, the Mariachka street, that I had in mind, and yet this video is already getting quite long, so I might wrap it up fairly soon. But let's get a view of some of the stuff down there, including a museum. So this is a very historical building. And one of the other things that I had in mind to see today. Here we have two very different tour mobiles. And so this thing is called the Gdansk crane. The very first mention of the wooden crane dates back to 1367. The brick-built structure combining the functions of a port crane, city gate, and defense wall was built in 1444. It was a structure consisting of two massive towers with a wooden crane structure built between them, overhanging the quay and supported by two brackets. The crane was used for handling heavy goods and mounting masts on ships. Very interesting brick and wood building. And what a view of the water and the ships. There is so much more of the city to see. I had no idea Gdansk was going to be this phenomenal. It's really one of the most incredible cities in Europe, without a doubt. I mean, it is so unique. The layout and the style of architecture and all the different parts of the city, which I've just barely dipped a toe into. So there you can see the full building. Quite impressive there. And The Amber Sky is a famous Ferris wheel. And there it says Polska Philharmonia Baltica imienia Fryderyka Chopina. So seems to be saying Polish Baltic Philharmonica Orchestra dedicated to Frederick Chopin, something like that. The words are all similar to English words. Polska, Polish, Philharmonia, Philharmonic, Baltica, Baltic, and then Fryderyka Chopina. Chopin, one of the most famous musical composers from Poland, raised in Warsaw. Really beautiful sight, all lit up like that. Very old style. Okay, are there any kids on it? Yep, there's one. Looks like literally just one. Really cool. Okay, we got to head over and get a closer look at the Gdansk sign and the Ferris wheel. All right, so now I'm going to go back around this way and make it a loop and get back to my apartment, get out of the cold, get to work. But should be a nice walk heading back this way. I don't know what we will see, but looks like probably a communist monument here. So, really interesting carvings on the side there, but kind of hard to make out what it is. There's a person there, looks like a woman with a child, and then I can't really figure out what the other stuff is. Oh, 1308. Okay, we have a year, and then some writing that is hard to read. So this is another instance of I could take out my phone and try to figure out where this is on the map and then search for it and, you know, get the answer, but it's just too much bother. So we have there something that clearly makes it obvious this is a World War II monument. So 1939, 1945. Prezydent One Rada Miasta Gdanska. So I guess a president of Poland. And then more designs on this side, which are a little bit more clear. Oh, two men with swords. Okay, why are there men with swords on a World War II monument? The mystery deepens. You can see the scabbards. There's the sword, two men. Really interesting. Nice mural there. Looks like an old king. But it also appears to be an ad for Nikon. Really old style camera there. Huh. Okay, am I back where I was before? There are a lot of these old towers around. Yeah, I think that is the building that I thought might have been the covered market. See, look at this. Just on the sidewalk, 1945. So that is interesting to see that date referenced right here. Would that be when they were starting the reconstruction? I mean, that was when the war ended. Maybe later in 1945 they were already starting to reconstruct or something. So yeah, we have come back full circle. Oh, okay. What is this? Oh, it's a bowling rink down there? Let's take a quick look at this. Whoa. Wild. I was thinking maybe it was an underground mall, but I guess it's just this, like, games room. I think there are also pool tables. Whoa, this is cool. It's all nice and warm down here and lit up. Darts. Yeah, foosball. Pool. Whoa, what a scene. Wasn't expecting this. And starting to snow a little bit, just tiny little flakes, but that is going to do it for this video. That was a truly amazing tour. I still have tomorrow to see more. I would like to get over to Sopot, a seaside town about 20 minutes away, and there is much more to see. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Have a good one.